Hello everyone, Thadu here on Stoneblock 4. So we've wrapped up the Quartermaster quest. However, if we go back to our quest book and have a look, there's still something left here before we can complete this chapter completely. So let's hop into that and see what is needed. Okay, first thing is an explorer's compass, which is a world engine craft. 4 ferrocore ingots, 2 amethyst dust, and a compass. That should not be a problem for us. So let's have a look at this. Let's create our compass. Grab 4 ferrocore ingots. This is gem dust, not the amethyst dust we need. Where's my amethyst? I've put them in a drawer as well. If I can find them. I will be needing a hammer. So let's actually create a ferrocore hammer. And just grab some sticks as well. Not treated sticks, let's use normal sticks for this. Of course, Murphy's Law. No ferrocore hammer. It's fine, we'll go diamond. There we go. Put down our amethyst, hit it with a hammer, and we've got our 2. There we go, our 2 amethyst dust. So let's head over to the world engine. This craft does require power, but that shouldn't be a problem. We've still got our generator running. It's still got some primal coal in it. Let's toss our ingredients in and get our explorer's compass crafted. There we go. That's done. Okay, for now I'm just going to toss this into my backpack as well. We can complete this quest. And now we need to go back to the Echo of Guidance to learn some more. And there we go. Chapter completed. Okay, let's have a listen to our Echo.
The World Engine can now support Tier 2 upgrades. The WERK will now reboot 3 additional archives. The Echo of the Fabricator oversees thermodynamics and mechanical processes. The Echo of the Enchanter governs magical infusion and item enchantment. The Echo of the Wayfinder specializes in transportation and items discovered through exploration.
Alright, so 3 more Echoes. The Fabricator, Enchanter, and Wayfinder. Let's go and look for these guys. While I'm running, since most of these Echoes don't fully immerse you into the mods, I might take some time in between to expand a bit on some of the stuff we've done. And I think after I found these 3 and we got the quests, I might do just that. There's the Enchanter. Oh, we've got some graphic issues here. Quite a few. Okay, let's have a listen to what the Enchanter has to say.
Do you too seek the power of the deep? It has been many eons since I first wove the theory of enchantment, an art still practiced to this day. And now, it seems you are next in line to walk this path. May your fate be better than the Nidwits who failed to control the deep. and turn this realm to stone. To claim your world engine upgrade, you must follow my instructions carefully, lest the deep consume you. Begin by delving into the depths of the world, where a dark and ancient power lingers. Within its lair, you may uncover echo shards that carry the essence of the deep. Alternatively, you may encounter a certain explorer who has returned with echo shards of his own. Completing the Wayfinder's task should persuade him to trade some, if you, like many others, prefer to avoid the dangers of the deep.
Okay, so we have two options to get echo shots. Not decided yet which way I'm going to go, but as you know, me and dying are good friends. So I might end up trying the hard way first, and if that fails, we'll go for the chicken route. Alright, here is the fabricator. Run down to him and let's have a listen to what he has to say.
Oh, wonderful, a new person to bother me. You might have already met my younger brother, the Machinist. A real genius, that one. That's not his real name, of course, but you didn't come here for family stories, did you? I'm assuming you're after that world engine upgrade. Let's get this over with so I can go back to actively ignoring everyone. This next upgrade isn't anything spectacular. I'll be showing you how to work with thermodynamics so you can send heat into the world engine. Not as impressive as what the other Echoes offer, but it's what I've got. To start, a superheating element will give you a good foundation for a resistive heater. There are other options out there if you're clever enough to figure them out, but this one will work to start things off. You're going to need a ton of power to kick this thing into high gear, so make sure your power infrastructure is up to par or you'll regret it.
Alright, he sounds about as socially adept as I am. Let's head off and try and find the third echo. And here he is right next to him, the Wayfinder. And let's have a listen.
Well met, traveller. Are you seeking a new adventure? Or perhaps a new path in life altogether? While I cannot promise you the latter, I can point you toward a certain vault that may satisfy your adventurous spirit. Most of your journeys so far have relied on ordinary travel mediums, such as walking or running. Effective, yes, but hardly efficient. Hidden deep within the deep slate lies a vault, rumoured to contain technology capable of translocating your very atoms from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Such a discovery would be invaluable to us. Ah, and what's in it for you? Well, chronoton stars are supposedly safeguarded by a powerful being within this vault, and these are essential for upgrading your world engine. These stars may be infused with glass to create chronoton glass, a material said to bend time and space to your command. The task ahead may require a little out-of-the-box thinking.
Okay. So now that we've spoken to all three our echoes, we can head back home. If we go back into our quest book, we can now complete this quest. We get another unearther level. That brings us to level 4, if I recall correctly. And we've met them, so we've met the fabricator, we've met the enchanter, and we have met the wayfinder. Let's have a quick look through their quest lines. So for the fabricator, we will need to make a superheating element, and we will need some ultimate thermodynamic conductors. That shouldn't be a problem, since we have got our infusers set up for mechanism, and we will need a resistive heater. Seems simple enough. For the enchanter, we've actually completed this step already, which is digging into the deep slate ring. Now we need to steal from the warden. We need echo shards. Deep dark, here we come. And then we will need an enchanting table and some bookshelves. And finally we will need 4 deep shelves and 2 echoing deep shelves. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to get into Apothic enchanting for this as well. For the Wayfinder, sorry, frog in the throat. Let's grab this compass, and we will need to find a chronoton star. Alright. And then we need to make chronoton glass for this one. Well, bit of exploring, some adventuring. Let's put that compass away for now, and this quantum computer core we got as a quest reward we can put away as well. Just want to show you that in between episodes I've also gone and enriched the materials for my infusers. So if we look at our carbon, I've got some enriched carbon stocked up, it's full, and I've got some enriched redstone, enriched diamond, and I've also got my enriched obsidian. I did not need to wait for the crusher. I took the obsidian which I cast in the foundry previously, ran them through my sag mill to get the crushed obsidian, and I then infused that with the diamond. I enriched that, and that is how we got our enriched obsidian for our 4th metallurgic infuser, which will make this quest where we need to make the ultimate thermodynamic conductors easy enough, seeing as we already have the enriched obsidian, and we will need that to make the atomic alloys. But for now, I want to go into Ars Nouveau a little bit more. Just want to show you as well, this area where my Ars was, I extended this a little bit, dug out a bigger space, put in a ferro flare lantern here, so we've got a bit more room here to put a few more things in. Remember, a lot of the things I do very compactly, you can expand, have multiple machines doing them, entirely up to you. I just like to keep things relatively small and compact. Unless necessary, I will generally not create multiple machines to do the same job. Okay, so what I wanted to do from Ars, so if we just go and look up Ars, I want to create the spellbook. There we go. So we've got the novice spellbook, the major spellbook, and the archmage's spellbook. And of course I am typing again. Let's just do this. Because it keeps throwing away my search. That's one of the drawbacks from using the lectern. Whenever you type, it will take it as you're typing in this search bar here, which is a bit of a pain. And me misclicking and mistyping also does not help the situation at all. And where is my spellbook? It's not in this page. There we go. There it is. Ah, goodness me. Even saying I want to look at the spellbook does not help. That's because it's spell space book. There we go. Let's go into this and then we can highlight the recipe. And we've already got the major spellbook, archmages. That's the creative spellbook. This is the one I actually want, the novice spellbook. Great. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to start with the novice spellbook. First thing we're going to need is a book, which we should be able to craft without any problems. Then we will need an iron shovel, pickaxe, axe and sword. So let's start crafting these. Got our shovel, our pickaxe. I'm just going to move this, the axe, and then we need a sword. There we go. And then we should be able to craft our novice spellbook. Great, we can take that one off. Okay, so we have our spellbook. I'm going to have to look up my keybinds for this. I did fiddle with my keybinds, but of course I cannot remember what I've done with them. Okay, so active ability, that's spellbook next slot, no. Okay, our documentation's not set. Quick cast, I've got slot 1 and 2 on my keypad keys. I don't have my wireless crafting grid set up. What am I missing? Open book, there we go. Left control is what I've got set up for that. So if I hit my left control. So with just creating the spellbook, these are the glyphs we get with it. So we get some forms. We get projectile, self, and touch. And effects, we've got break and harm. Those are the only ones we get. To expand on that, we will need to do a bit more work. So let's go into looking at Ars again. And what we're looking for is the scribing table. So let's just do this. Actually, that's assuming I remember this correctly. Yeah, here's our scribes table, which is just 3 archwood slabs, 2 gold nuggets, and some logs. Okay, we do not have slabs, but we can create some. That's not a problem. Great. Now, because I want to do quite a bit of glyph research now, I am not going to put this in my Ars Nouveau area, just yet. I am going to put my table down here. Goodness me. Let me grab my axe. That's not how I wanted to put the table down. I can't remember how all these mods orientate the items that you put down. So here's our scribes table. This will allow us, if we right click on it with our spell book, it'll show us all the available glyphs. This being the novice spell book, it'll only allow us to actually research tier 1 glyphs. If we try to research tier 2 glyphs, I think we can research them, but we can't use them in the book. So to research a spell, and I'm not going to research each and every one on screen with you guys, I just want to show you some of the basic principles. To research a glyph, you would select the glyph, click on it, it'll show us here that we need, that is how much, 8 glass. If you select, it will have the glass appearing on top of it, but you will also see that seeing as it's close enough to my storage system, it would automatically pull the items out of my storage system to complete the glyph. And there we go. Once I have the glyph, I can just right click it. And if we now open our spellbook, we now have pantomime available in our glyphs to build spells with. Just going to maybe do a couple more. Let's just see here. So underfoot requires a pressure plate and iron boots. We select that, and I know we don't have these items available in our system. So we just have our iron boots and our pressure plate floating above it. But what we can now do is grab some iron. I'm going to go the lazy way as I know the recipes. So we need 4 iron, we need 2 planks. We can now craft a pressure plate, and if I don't misclick, we can craft our iron boots. Just grab those. I can now go to my storage here, and I can throw my boots and my pressure plate in, and you will see, because the chests, sorry, are linked to my lectern, it can pull from the chest as well, and there is my glyph. If it wasn't in range of the lectern but just in range of the controller, it would pull out of that as well, because the scribes table will look for any available inventories within range, and it will pull the items from them automatically. But since the lectern is connected to the chests as well as the drawers, it makes it easier for me to place it close to the lectern. That way it can grab any items out of my lectern. And here we have underfoot now done as well. Inner pulls I know I don't have. Okay, when we start getting into these, you see we now need some essences, which I want to spend some time on as well. So in between episodes, I'm going to try and research as many of my glyphs as I can, and then next time I will spend a few minutes to show you a bit more on the spell crafting. For now, I want to try and get some of the essences. Now, to do the setup for the essences, and I've bookmarked the other 2 spell books because I want to craft them as soon as we can. This one requires blaze rods, obsidian, quartz blocks, diamonds. The only problem here is the blaze rods, so we won't be crafting that one just yet. Oh, we've got 1 blaze rod, yes. I was wondering why it wasn't showing missing items. So we're missing a blaze rod, so we can't do that just yet, but as soon as we can, I will craft that. For this one, we will require a nether star, a wilden tribute, 2 emeralds, 3 ender pearls, which is a problem, as well as a totem of undying, which we don't have yet. The explorer's compass I'm going to remove from my bookmarks, as well as the scribe's table for now. Alright, what I want to do here is, I have gone blank, can't remember the name now, just imbuement chamber. As I nearly got there, I remembered what it was called. We need another imbuement chamber. So, lectern, not the scribe's table. So if we look up our imbuement chamber, there we go. In the past, I have done setups where I've created 1 imbuement chamber for every single essence. I'm not going to go that route this time. I'm just going to do it with a single one. What we also need is 3 pedestals. So if we look, we've got 2 arcane platforms, which will be fine, but we need 1 more. So let's create an arcane pedestal. And by just crafting it on its own, it will become an arcane pedestal. So we've got 3 of those. What I also would like to get is some drawers. I am going to, let me look in my backpack because I believe I have quite a few. Yes, there we go. So we're going to grab 3 of those. That'll give us 12 spaces. And I want to grab some pipes. We do have some Oretec opaque pipes, but I would like to make the transparent pipes just to be different. So transparent item pipe is the one we want. We'll just create 12 of those and throw that back in. Now, there's 2 ways to set this up. We can set this up close to our, on top of the enchanter, and we could actually use the pedestals around it, which I am thinking might not be a bad idea. So I'm actually going to do that way. So we're not going to need these 3 platforms that I've made. So I'm going to lectern, not scribe stable, toss them back. I want to grab 2 chests. There we go. And I would like to make a access point for our draw system. So let's do that quickly. Create our repeater. Create our access point. That is just because I don't want to run pipes all the way from here through to there. So, but I am going to put some pipes in here so that we have some visible queues running. Right, so we've got our access point there. I'm going to grab 3 of my drawers, which I thought I did grab. I might have tossed them back into the system, that's fine. I'm going to put them there, grab my configurator and linking tool. So I'm going to lock these and link them. Why am I not? It was on remove, not add. There we go, add those to the system, add my access point to the system. So this is now set up. Now I would like to just grab my pipes that I've created, and I'm going to run my pipe from shift and click because I don't want to insert it into the imbuement chamber. And of course this merchant is now in my way. There we go. Fantastic. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that my source streams is actually not linked to the system. Otherwise it is going to throw us off with what I want to do here. So it is currently linked, so I'm just removing that one from the system. Great, if we take one of our source gems and we try and insert it, it's going to complain that there is no valid recipe. So what I want to look up is, if we look at our essences, here they are. So we've got the anima essence. That's focus of fire, focus of water, focus. There's our abjuration essence, conjuration essence, air essence, earth essence, fire essence, and water essence. And I skipped over the manipulation essence. Okay, so let's look at the manipulation essence as our first one. So for this, we need a stone button, a clock, and redstone. So let's go grab that. Now the nice thing is with crafting these essences, it does not consume the items you use, but it needs them available. So grab a stone, we make a stone button. We then go and into our lectern and we want to create a clock. So we do our clock. Craft that, and we need redstone, so I'm just going to grab this redstone out. Now to make the essence, we put the 3 items on 3 of the pedestals. So let me move that out of the way, that out of the way, move these 3 down. I can put the clock here, redstone here, button here. They are all in range of my imbuement chamber. Now if we put a source gem into this, it will start converting it. Okay, take some time to do the conversion. I thought this source job would be close enough to feed that, but it seems it's not, so let's move it a little bit closer. There we go, and of course our volcanic source link is immediately filling that up again. Goodbye, trader. Sorry, you did not see that. That was cruel. And there's our manipulation essence. I can take this, put it into a drawer, and now I can grab another drawer, but I just want a normal drawer. Seeing as I'm using birch straws there, I might just do another birch straw, a normal 1x1. I've only got 2x2s in my inventory. Okay, it's complaining because we don't have birch planks, but that's fine. Oh, I've got all the wood types for the saplings I've got so far. I've put in the spruce and birch again because they were the lowest counts, to just get the numbers up a bit. So I've got the full variety of all the woods I have. Let's craft this into planks. We surround our chest, and there's our drawer. So now that I have a place for the manipulation essences to go, I can put in another drawer here. Grab 2 of my transparent item pipes. There we go. They're just difficult to see in my backpack. Put them there, and I'm going to put this drawer on top here. I just want to disconnect this pipe here, so we grab our Oritech pipe wrench, right click on that so it's not connecting to that. Can set that to extract. Can take a stack. I'm going to throw one back, so we'll end up with a stack of manipulation essences. Why I've grabbed the 2 chests, which now of course I've used. Just want to grab them again. Go to the right place. There's my chests. So why I've grabbed the chests is I'm going to place these chests here close to where I have my essences. So once I'm done creating the manipulation essence, I'm going to take these items that I used to make it and put them in the chest. That will just make it easier for me next time. If I need more, I can just grab the items from here. So I'll have these items available at all times. So it won't need to, need to set that one to extract as well. There we go. So I won't need to recraft any of the items that I'm using. And because we've got charcoal set up here, we've got sauce here, it's going pretty fast to create these. So along with creating all the glyphs that I can, I am going to try and get the items for as many of these essences as I can and craft them as well. If we look at water, for example, we need a water bucket, we need a snow block. Thanks to the snowballs we grabbed when we went to the I think it's the machinist's vault, we can make the snow block, not a problem. And kelp we've got, so the water essence shouldn't be a problem for us to make. Fire essence, flint and steel, gunpowder, torch, no problem at all. Earth essence, iron ingot, some dirt and a seed, that shouldn't be a problem. Air essence, feather, no problem. Arrow, no problem. Wild and wing, that's a problem. But there is a way to get around this. So I might put off our progression with the World Engine quest for a bit longer, so we can go and get some Wilden Wings. If we look at the Conjuration Essence, we need a Wilden Horn. I did get one from the goat. We need a book, and we need a Starbuncle token, which I don't think I have. So that's something we need to work on as well. The Abjuration, we need a fermented spider eye. We've got spider eyes, but we do not have brown mushrooms, so that might still be a problem. Milk bucket, there's a cow behind me screeching. We can get a bucket of milk from him, no problem. Sugar, no problem. Anima essence needs a wither skull, problem. Golden apple, not a problem, because we did get some from the chests we looted in the vault. And bone meal, not a problem. So the only problem here would be the wither skull. But there's a few things to do, so it might be a while before my next episode comes out, because I want to try and get as many of the glyphs done as I can and try and set up as many of these essences. I'll try and produce a stack of each that I can produce and maybe do some prep work to see if we can get some of the other remaining items. I think that is all I'm going to do in this episode. Feel free to like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see when I bring out new content. And as always, be safe, have fun, and see you next time.